Hi, my name is Stephanie Albiston. I'm a lawyer at the law firm Bell Alliance, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about what co-ops are in the City of Vancouver, as a buyer, how you get involved in a co-op, what the pros and cons are, and what to look out for that's different with buying a co-op than with buying other regular property in Vancouver. Now, the term co-op is often used for a few different descriptions. Co-ops can be used to describe subsidized housing. That is not what we're talking about today. What I am talking about are co-ops that are actually apartment corporations. These co-ops you can actually buy like you would a strata property. However, there are a few different pros and cons to buying a co-op than buying a strata property, and I'm going to go over those in a little detail here today. The first one is a co-op, you're not actually buying the property. What you are buying is shares in a company, and those shares allow you access to the property and ownership of a particular unit. So when you own a co-op, you own shares. The building itself, though, and the company itself owns the building that then owns the land. So from that, there are a few differences. When you're buying a co-op, property transfer tax will not always be due, which is really good news sometimes, but it's good to know if you are still going to be paying property transfer tax or not. What it really comes down to is when the apartment and when the company first bought the apartment, whether they registered the leases in a land title office or not. If they chose to register those leases, then you are going to be paying property transfer tax exactly like you would in a strata property. However, if that apartment corporation chose not to register the leases, then you are not paying property transfer tax ever on any transfer for that particular property. Some other things to consider: when you're buying a co-op, you're going to be paying more legal fees. It's not because I'm going to charge you more as a lawyer, but it's because there are more lawyers involved in the transaction. So when you're buying a co-op, you're paying for your own lawyer like you would normally, but you're also paying for the co-op's lawyer. So the co-op is a party involved in the transaction now, and they actually have their own law firm that's going to bill you as the purchaser also. So keep in mind, you have the two legal fees, one for your own lawyer and then one also for the co-op's law firm. Something else to consider is the co-op is going to have their own rules and regulations. Now, every co-op is a little bit different, and co-ops are very, very different from stratas in this respect. They can really put together any rules they want because, again, they're their own corporation. So some co-ops say you can't have children, you can't have pets, you can't have, any rentals. Some of them even stipulate that you can't have a mortgage. So it's really, really good to know if you are looking to buy a co-op, to know whether or not they will allow financing, and then begin that process to see what kind of banks will actually forward you funds for a co-op purchase. And something else to consider, because there are more parties involved, because again the co-op's involved, and because they're fairly rare to see in the City of Vancouver, give yourself more time. If you found the perfect co-op, give yourself enough time to make sure you can find that team. Put together your realtor, your mortgage broker, your lawyer that all understand co-ops, so that when you're going through the process, you're able to be educated by all of your professionals around you. And because that time takes a little bit longer to have the communication go from the co-op's law firm to your law firm, to your realtor, to the co-op itself, again, give yourself that extra time to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible.